Ryan's Birthday Party Foundation was created in memory of Ryan Castile. The foundation provides costumes to children and their siblings who are battling cancer. In the next 30 minutes, we're going to hear about how this foundation strives to make kids with cancer smile and how they can provide support to the residents of Harford County. I'm Kristy Breslin, and this is Harford MagaScene. Rick and Anita Castile are the founders of Ryan's Birthday Party Foundation, an amazing organization that is striving to make kids with cancer smile. Rick and Anita, thanks for having us here today.
Hi, Kristy.
Now, Anita, tell me about Ryan's Birthday Party Foundation.
Okay, so 2014 when Ryan got sick, when he turned 4 at the hospital, we decided to do a typical Ryan birthday party and do a great big Halloween thing for him at the hospital. And then when he turned 5, he was on hospice at that point, and we knew that it probably would be his last birthday. So we wanted it to be a really big blowout birthday party. And at that point, so many churches and volunteers and people had stepped in to help our family that we knew we needed to give back. So the year that he turned 5, we did a free community birthday party. So there was face painting and pumpkin painting, and there were 500 people there, and that year we probably raised $10,000. And we gave $1,000 to Give Kids the World, $1,000 to Nemours, $1,000 to a family, $1,000 to Gilchrist Hospice, and everything was free though. It was amazing. It was ice cream and cupcakes, and everybody
donated stuff.
Right, yeah. And everybody came out in costume. It was so much fun.
Department.
There were limo rides. It was an awesome day. It was a great 5th birthday party. So after we saw how successful that was, we just felt like in 2016, he died January 4th. We knew that watching families suffer and watching how awesome our community was with helping us, that there was something that we had to do to give back. So the foundation was really seeded in Ryan's 5th birthday, and then we applied in February 2016 to be a foundation, and we became a 501c3 May of 2016. So since then we've had 4 events. The next year we added a 5K, and then the next year we had a masquerade gala, which Kristy was our MC.
I loved it. I had a wonderful time.
And then this year we did Denim and Diamonds and raised $25,000 for a brain cancer research grant. So,
Rick, what is the mission?
Well, at the most simple level, it's to help kids with cancer smile. And I mean, that's what generated it from the very beginning, was associating it with Ryan and his last birthday, and just the joy we got from sharing that with others and with the community, and wanting to spread that to other people that we could see and knew were going through just terrible times, battling this terrible disease.
And in the 15 months he was sick, we bought him 15 costumes.
Oh.
And so when a child, it's 3, 4, or 5, puts on a Spider-Man costume, they think they're Spider-Man. So we even get stories back from families who say, my child went to their chemo or their radiation or went into surgery today in their costume thinking that she's Wonder Woman and she's going to fight this, or, she's a princess, and for that day, they forget. Yeah. They're not sick anymore. They're a superhero.
How can you help families in Harford County? How do they apply for your services? Say if someone does have a child that's dealing with cancer and would like a costume for them.
Sometimes what happens is if I see a family, doesn't matter where it is, Harford County, Cecil County, any place in the world, I will go on Facebook and I will message them and say, hey, here's who we are. Would you like a costume? I go on Amazon, order the exact size, the exact costume that they want and mail that directly to them. They can also go to our website and nominate themselves, or a family member or someone in the community can nominate a child. We like to give to families that have cancer. We have given to children that are sick with a fatal disease that it might not be cancer. It might be a fatal heart condition or Guillain-Barré or something that is life-threatening to the child, but we feel like if we can also help them smile, we'll give to that family also. So there's many ways to do that, but our website is probably the best.
Anita, how many kids are diagnosed with cancer daily?
Every day, 48 families and children receive a brand new cancer diagnosis. So 1 in 5 will die. Pediatric cancer, if you added up all of the ways that a child could die, pediatric cancer is the #1 killer of children in the United States. So in the past 20 years, there have been 3 new medications developed for children. In that same time, there have been 25 new medications developed for adults. 4% of our national budget is spent on childhood cancer prevention and cure. So it's a very, very small number that's actually spent on children.
Rick, explain to me what you mean when you say, when a child is sick, every day should be like a birthday party.
Well, again, when we were going through this event with Ryan, being able to get him out of feeling bad or feeling sick or being even depressed for a kid could make all the difference in the world for even an hour or a couple of hours during a day. So having him dress up or walk around with us like he was a policeman or a fireman, or pretend we were having a party, really broke out of that whole sick role that a child can get into and can encompass their lives. So we want other kids and other families to be able to take advantage of that, so that the drudgery, the monotony, the fear that can just encompass you because you're going through this illness can be broken for just a period of time. And so that's what we try to accomplish through part of the foundation.
Now, when a child receives a package in the mail, what can they expect to see?
Right. Typically, let's say there's a child in the Philippines who's 4 years old that has cancer. So many times the cancer doesn't just affect the child, it affects the whole family. So typically, if they have other siblings, we also send them costumes. And for the child, because we want it to look like a birthday party, we're trying to do like a birthday party in a box. So we'll send napkins and plates and party hats and balloons and favors so that they may not make it to the next birthday. So today is the day that they need to celebrate. So we want them to be able to celebrate. And then if, like the little boy who wanted to be Batman that was in the Philippines, we send a little Batman doll so that they can take that to the hospital and have, their little buddy to go with them and make it better.
I know that you're doing a lot of fundraising. Now, the money that you received, what is the money used for?
Well, it started almost quite by accident with, his first birthday party that we did at the church and the community came. And when we ended up raising money, people wanting to give, we were able to give to very specific groups that had helped him, everyone from hospice to Nemours, to even a family we had met in the hospital that had some medical bills that they needed. So we wanted to kind of continue that. So in addition to the costumes, we've started the annual giving campaign where we're now able to give things back to the community. And we did the playground at the local Rising Sun elementary school. We were able to get a matching grant from the state and rebuild an entire playground. But what was different about this particular playground was it was handicapable. So the handicapped children that we increasingly see in the schools were able to also take part in it. And this past year, we were able to do the monies that we're able to give now back to DuPont to do a matching grant of up to $50,000 that we're able to give to research. So it's almost taken on a life of its own, and we're just humbled that we've been so blessed to be a part of that. Something that started as just helping a kid and a family forget the pain that they were going through, that we saw Ryan go through, for a while and turn it into something that so many other people will be able to be forever blessed by.
I know we have a lot of events coming up, so tell us about what we can expect to see from you in the future.
Well, next year at this point we have 4 things planned. Shelley's Dog Grooming Studio is going to do a 5K and Halloween party and give the funds to us, so that's exciting. And then we're also working with West Nottingham Academy. It's a local boarding school that 28 of their students were meeting monthly, and they're planning a big Earth Day celebration in April that will have a 5K and lots of big parties that they're planning, that the funds will come to us and that we'll give back to the families. October 30th, we're taking a Halloween party up to Nemours and blessing the patients. And 4 local churches are all coming together, and we're going to do face painting and pumpkin painting and take that to the patients. And then our annual gala that Kristy hopefully will be the MC at again.
Absolutely.
Will be held at a local restaurant, and that, so we're very excited about 4 big events next year. So,
Rick and Anita, thank you for having us into your home. You're doing such a great job, and I really enjoy working with you guys, and we're so grateful for what you're doing, not only for Harford County, but for all the children out there.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Of course. Now, losing a child to cancer is an unimaginable pain. Coming up next, we're going to talk to Ryan's father and his stepmother and find out what they're doing to keep Ryan's memory alive. I'm here with Alex and Nathan Castile. They are the proud parents of Ryan. Right now, Nathan is the vice president of the foundation. Alex is the secretary. And let me tell you, from talking to this couple, one of the strongest, most inspiring couples that I've ever met. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us today, and I know how difficult this is.
Thank you, Kristy.
Thank you for having us.
Nathan, when did you first realize that Ryan was sick?
Well, it would have had to have been probably about a month and a half before he was admitted to the hospital. We noticed a little bit of behavioral changes. Now, brain cancer can kind of present in numerous ways depending on the child, but for him it was some behavioral issues and then followed a little bit shortly after by balance issues. So actually he ended up falling at one point before we actually took him to the emergency room, and so that's kind of how it started.
Alex, when did you get the official diagnosis?
I must have been, we knew from when he first went to the hospital that there was a tumor there. It must have been 2 days after he was admitted that we got the news that it was confirmed malignant, and then maybe a week after the surgery that we had an actual diagnosis of type.
I can't imagine how difficult this was for your family. Tell me about your initial reaction and how the rest of the family reacted as well.
It was unreal, I think I usually liken it to getting hit by a freight train. These kind of things don't happen to you, right? They happen in a movie, they happen in a TV show. It's not something that, quote unquote, normal people have to go through. Fear, right? That what's going to happen next? What can we do? Is there anything that we can do to help him, get better? That was probably on the forefront of our minds. And then you go into survival mode, right. With your family. You're really trying to do whatever you can to make it to the next day, the next conversation with the hospital staff, the next conversation with his care team, the next conversation with the oncologist. And then, after that, it's really just how do we make a plan to help Ryan? And that was the next step.
Now tell me about the treatment. What type of treatment did he have to go through? Kind of explain the process.
Yeah, absolutely. So, he started off with chemotherapy, and the doctor let us know beforehand. He said, listen, this is a very aggressive dose. It's a very aggressive treatment regimen. And, we're going to go all out, and we're going to see, how effective we can be. Previous to that, he had had surgery to remove approximately 65%, which left him immobile for a long period of time until his brain could kind of learn how to function. And unfortunately, due to the placement of the tumor on the pons of his brain, it was very difficult. After the surgery, he didn't have a whole lot of mobility, and It's funny, we talk about the other kids. That was kind of one of the coolest things, is to see them adapt to his lack of mobility, and everybody talking about, we got to remember Ryan's stroller, and helping him out in the wagon that he always got pulled around in. So that it was a long road. Chemotherapy didn't end up being effective, unfortunately, in Ryan's specific case. So where we really got to the rubber meeting the road of cancer treatment was when we went to Children's Hospital of Philly, and he was taking proton radiation treatment. It was difficult at first. He had to be put to sleep before every treatment, and then upon waking up, he was somewhat confused, and the cancer, made that a little bit more difficult. So, but afterwards, we saw a reduction in size. 6 weeks of radiation treatment, we saw another reduction in size of the overall tumor by about another 65%. So he regained mobility. I mean, we went to Disney World. We had a great time. Make-A-Wish Foundation helped out a lot, but unfortunately, it just it was a very strong cancer, and it came back.
Ryan just seemed like such a happy kid. Every picture that I've seen of him, he's always smiling, and he always seems like he's just such a happy child. With that being said, tell us about the playground that was built in his honor.
Well, I think you've met my mom.
Absolutely.
She's a tenacious individual. Between discussions about how do we keep Ryan's memory alive, and what would he want us to do, and I think the answer was always he'd want us to not only help other children, but to make people feel good no matter what circumstances they found themselves in. So the idea actually started as I think there were some statistics that Rising Sun had one of the schools that had more handicapped children than many of the other schools in the area. And so we thought about, what are they playing on right now? How are they going out to have fun? When we went to Disney World with Make-A-Wish, they had a place called Give Kids the World, and they had so many handy-capable playgrounds and attractions and pools for people like Ryan, who had limited mobility, to be able to climb and play in ways that he never was able to before. So that week, watching him on the playgrounds, with the other kids, feeling normal, that really, I think, spurred the idea for, we have to do this for other kids because Ryan would want us to.
Alex, having gone through this, what advice would you give to other families that are going through something similar?
Reach out for help. It was very hard at first. You get a lot of offers, how can we help, what can we do? And when you're first hit with the news, you don't really have an answer. And so I'd say, let those offers come in and take advantage of those. And don't be afraid to go out and look and talk to other families who are going through it. Talk to the other families at the treatment centers, because those connections with others who know what you're going through and are there with you are going to mean the world as you try and navigate all of the ins and outs of that kind of diagnosis.
Nathan, Alex, you guys have done an amazing thing here, and you're going to be an inspiration to so many other families that are going through the same thing. Now, the Castilles have been down a very tough road, but Ryan's Birthday Party Foundation is there to support you, to help you, but they need volunteers, they need donations. You can help. Sherry Brown is the proud mother of young Kylie, and she is also a recipient of Ryan's Birthday Party Foundation. This foundation has made a world of difference for her family, and she's here to tell us about her experience. Hi, Sherry.
Hi.
Sherry, how has Ryan's Birthday Party Foundation helped you and your family?
Anita and Rick's been really good. They've accepted me and Kylie as family. They have always been there if we needed something, as far as, maybe a bill getting paid, or maybe helping with groceries or just coming and sitting with Kylie for the day to let me go do something to get out, to kill a little bit of time. But they're always there to offer any kind of assistance that we have needed, you know, financially or mentally.
Tell me about Kylie.
Okay, Kylie was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma in 2015. She had just turned 6, and it all started with her complaining that her legs were hurting. And this went on for a couple of months, so we went to the pediatrician, and the pediatrician said she had Lyme's disease. And I said, no, this is not Lyme's disease. So we ended up at A.I. DuPont to an orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Bowen, and he couldn't find anything. We started back home. He said, I'll call you and let you know what the plan is, but I don't know what's going on with Kylie. So we were headed halfway home. He called me on my cell phone. He said, turn around and come back. We're going to do an MRI on her spine. And that's where they found the tumor. And she was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma. We spent a year of doing chemo, and then she did 5 weeks, 5 days a week of radiation.
How is Kylie doing now?
We've hit a couple bumps in the road. She just had a surgery October 31st, which they went in and put 2 rods in her on the spine and 6 plates, and she has the pins and the screws. We went today. She's not able to tell when she has to go to the potty, so they're going to run some more tests to see if it has affected her kidneys, if the kidneys are done or what. And they also did some nerve reconstruction.
Now, when did you first meet the Castile family? Was it before or after the diagnosis?
We met them when we were in the hospital at A.I. DuPont. As a matter of fact, we met Anita. She was going down the hall with Ryan singing an Easter song, and she seen us in the room, and she said, hey, would y'all like to come out and join us? And that's how we became friends. She's been there ever since.
Did you know Ryan?
Yes.
Tell me about what kind of child he was.
He was a very loving little boy, very close to Anita and Rick, always smiling, and he loved to dress up. Every day was Halloween. You never seen Ryan in street clothes. It was always some kind of Halloween theme going with Ryan, but he was a sweet little boy.
Now, what about Kylie? Is she into costumes? Which
Oh,
ones
yes.
did she receive?
Kylie loves costumes too. She likes to dress up. Anita and Rick has sent her a mermaid, a SpongeBob. She got one a couple weeks ago, which she wanted to be an EMT. She says she wants to wear it at the hospital and pretend like she's part of the team.
And what would you say to other parents to encourage them to reach out to the Castiles so maybe they could get the same kind of support that you've received?
Anita and Rick are always there for you, no matter what time of day you call. If you call them at midnight and say, hey, I need you to come over here, you know, I really need somebody to talk to, one of them would be there. They're always there for everybody. They're accepted us as family. We didn't know each other till we crossed each other's path at A.I. DuPont, and then they accepted us, and we do all the holidays together. We're family.
Sherry, thanks again. Best of luck with you and Kylie.
Thank you. And thanks for the foundation. They've been a big help to us. We love Rick and Anita a lot.
Well, as you have seen, they have helped Sherry and Kylie, and they can also help you. How many families is Ryan's Birthday Party Foundation helping? And what can we do to make a difference? We'll find out coming up next. I'm now here with Kim Lohman. She is a registered nurse. She is on the board of Ryan's Birthday Party Foundation, and she has known the Castile family for years. Kim, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Now, Kim, how do you know the Castile family?
Oh, I've known Anita for 5 years old, since kindergarten. We went to school together and grew up together and played together. And after high school, we were still local, so we had our children and our babies and got together. And then we spread apart, then we come back together. So just always been part of the community and part of my friends.
And why do you continue to work with Ryan's Birthday Party Foundation?
To make kids smile, just giving back to make kids smile. I'm a nurse, so I see the good and the bad, and I always like to see the good. I always like to see kids smile and have hope.
Talk to me a little bit about some of the families that you've helped.
So many. And I don't know the particulars of who, just the playground, just the lives of all those children that it touched. Just in the community, people still talk about this playground. They want to come and see the playground. They want to model it for other events. Even our church wants to model the playground to have the same playground. And just the costumes, reaching out to the costumes and making the kids smile and just making them happy for a minute or 2 or 3, and just making them feel good, getting them into their own little world.
What excites you the most about working with this foundation? What is the most meaningful part for you?
Making a difference to the families and the children.
And how are you doing that?
I hope just by supporting them and just being here and reaching out and helping Anita with the costumes and helping Anita with the foundation and just doing what I can.
Now, tell me about you and your church, West Nottingham Presbyterian.
Okay, I'm on a mission committee at our church, and we're always looking for community outreach locally because we're a Presbyterian church, so we do a lot with the Presbyterian disaster funds and reaching out to all the areas affected by hurricanes and weather related. So this was a community research based that I just really said we need to do this. This is right here in our backyard to help our children and people here in Clora area. And so they came to the Halloween party, and everyone in costume and donated to the foundation. It was happy time. Costumes make people happy.
And coming from you, as a friend, as a supporter, as a registered nurse, why would you recommend Ryan's Birthday Party Foundation to others?
Just because they give back and they have physically, emotionally, every which way experienced the whole journey. So they know what is important or what is needed in the path that family's taking. So because they have experienced it personally, they know how and where and when to reach out to the people that need help at the lowest moment or even at the highest moment, just when they are there to just give them hope again, make them smile, it's going to be okay for today.
Now, from what I understand, you've developed a very strong partnership with Anita. What ways have you guys worked together?
It's great. When I found out that Ryan was here, and then Alex and Nathan moved, they needed help for their house. Not really reconstructing, but just their house was built. They just needed to fix up their house. So we came and helped them paint and clean and get it ready to move in. So that was part of the original when they were coming to Maryland. And then we have a knitting group that knits chemo caps and blankets and prayer blankets and sweaters and shawls and scarves. And we donate and give them to the foundation as well. And Anita takes them to the hospital to the children to wear for that. And we have, like I said, she came to the Halloween party, and then we have free lunches twice a month, and she's come and spoken to the group that serves the lunch then, as well as all the people that come.
Kim, thank you so much, and thank you for all of your support.
Thank you, Kristy. My pleasure.
Ryan's Birthday Party Foundation believes that when a child is sick, every day should be like a birthday party. If you would like to learn more about them, volunteer, or donate, you can always visit the website at ryansbirthdayparty.com. I'm Kristy Breslin. See you next month on Harford MagaScene.